between business and an environmental group, and you've received some criticism for that.
Yeah, we think about nature. It's got tremendous value for people. You should think about nature as infrastructure, something to invest in, to improve economies, to improve jobs, to improve life. And so, of course, we want our allies to include the government, working Joes, but business as well. And big business increasingly has a huge environmental footprint. So if we can work with business, help them understand that taking better care of the environment is good for their business, we think they can really be powerful allies to the environmental movement.
How does somebody go from one of the biggest of businesses, Goldman Sachs, at the height of the boom, to a nature nonprofit?
Yeah, I think I've really been fortunate. I worked at Goldman Sachs for 25 years. I had a very positive experience there. Near the end of my career, I wanted to shift gears. My boss at the time, Hank Paulson, said, I was thinking about leaving the firm in 2005 to become an environmentalist. He said, no, stay at the firm and build an environmental effort at the firm. So Hank and I did that together. We looked for business opportunities that made business sense and that were good for the environment. It went really well. I'm really proud of what we accomplished there. And I became so convinced of this opportunity, I went all the way and joined the Conservancy. I was very fortunate. The Conservancy was a great organization before I got there, that's for sure. I have the good privilege of leading it today, and we're excited about what we can do.
How many of those opportunities are out there today, by the way? Investments that are good for business and for the environment at the same time?
You know, we think it's almost unlimited, to be honest. We're just beginning to scratch the surface. But in case after case, we work closely with companies who have a big environmental footprint. We help them understand how their business depends on nature. And the better they understand that, the more incentivized they are by good old profit motives, shareholder value maximization motives, to do a better job of being environmental stewards. That's a great weapon in our work.
Hank Paulson went on to lead the Treasury when you went on to lead the Nature Conservancy. I wonder, how do you convince, because sometimes it's not in a business's best interest as far as their bottom line is concerned, to be environmentally conscious. So in those circumstances, how do you convince them? And coming from a company like Goldman Sachs, you know better than anyone, being a public company means you're first and foremost having to maximize shareholder value.
Right, it's a great question. So you're right, there's a whole mix of businesses, and we don't pretend everybody's ready to be our ally right now, but some leading business people are. A good example would be Andrew Liveris, CEO of Dow Chemical. Dow is one of our partners. Lots of folks say, why on earth would you partner with Dow Chemical? I say, why wouldn't we? If we can help them understand how being better stewards of the environment will help their business, imagine what we can do. And Andrew is a far-sighted leader. And he heard me argue that business depends on nature. So he said, Mark, let's test that. Let's take some Dow engineers and some Nature Conservancy scientists, put them to work side by side. Let's figure out how Dow depends on nature. And if the natural capital that Dow depends on is vulnerable, then what might we do about it? And so that's an exciting project for us. And in the business world, people pay attention to one another. So all of Dow's competitors and other companies are watching our project, and if we can make it work, we think we can replicate that in many places.